So for breakfast, I decided to have some apple pie oats. And so I started by frying up some apples in a frying pan, and I added a little bit of cinnamon to this as well. If they're not sweet enough, you can also add maple syrup, but they were sweet enough for me. And then I boiled some cashew milk, and I added my oats and some cinnamon in there. And then I'm adding some golden roasted flaxseed and a little bit of vanilla protein powder. Just stir that all around and add some more cinnamon because I'm obsessed with cinnamon. Add your oats to a bowl and then your apples. And I also added some coconut yogurt and some dried mulberries and quinoa puffs. And then for snack, I just had some dried fruit. So I had dates and some figs. And then for lunch, I had a pumpkin pie smoothie bowl, which was so yummy. So I added 3 frozen bananas to a blender. And make sure your frozen bananas are nice and spotty to get the full sweetness. And then I added some pumpkin puree and about a teaspoon of almond butter, some pumpkin pie spice, and then just a little bit of cashew milk. And I blended that up, and then I added in a little bit of protein powder as well, and a date. And then I topped it all off with some bananas, some date coconut roll that I chopped up, and then I toasted some pecans in maple syrup and cinnamon. And then for an afternoon snack, I just put some salsa inside an avocado and I ate it like that, and it was so good. So for the soup, you're going to start by turning the oven on to 450 and put a couple cloves of garlic and your sweet potato in and start roasting that. And then chop up your onions, and in about 10 minutes add those to the baking sheet as well. And you're just going to roast all of your veggies until they're soft. And then I also decided to cut up a red pepper and roast that as well to add to my soup. And just add that to the baking sheet as well. And then for the cashew cream sauce, I started out by soaking a cup of cashews, add those to a blender with some lime juice, some nutritional yeast, a couple tablespoons of unsweetened plain coconut yogurt, and some pepper, and a little bit of salt. And then I took one of the cloves of roasted garlic and I added that to the blender as well. And then for the soup, I'm adding all of my roasted veggies and some fresh ginger and a little bit of coconut milk, and just the rest with veggie stock. And then I toasted some cranberries and pecans in maple syrup and cinnamon again. Spices I'm adding are cinnamon, paprika, cumin, some turmeric, and that's it. And then you top your soup off with your cashew cream and the toasted nuts. And then for a dessert, I decided to make some golden milk, so I started out with about a cup of cashew milk, and I started heating that on my pan I'm using a frying pan because I don't have a pot, but you can use whatever you have. And then I have this golden milk mixture that I use, and it's so good. It makes it so easy to make. I added in a little bit of maple syrup. And then you just stir that around until it's all mixed in.